meteorologist Chase Jones.
Well, we saw another round of those early morning clouds, then that sort of cleared up underneath this West Texas sun, and we made a good run near those record temperatures. Now it's 84 degrees set back in 2006. We got up to 83 today, so we were awfully close, and by tomorrow for that microchipping, we're going to set some records, and that's pretty early. Will be the third one in a past couple weeks. Pretty concerning. Now, a good sunset going on right now as we look at those temperatures over the last 24 hours, getting down into those mid-40s, making a good run all the way up into those lower 80s. Now we're starting to reach that sort of range where the temperatures are going to be more extreme. I think I put 50 last night and it got all the way down there into those mid 40s, and then for the daytime high I put around 79, so we're way above that 81 in San Angelo. Everybody else in those mid to lower 70s across the entire region. Things have swapped. We're at 80 up there in Sterling City while we're 73 down there in Junction, 7 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, but not in the direction that we want, so we're seeing a lot of that instability make its way in from the south. We of course are going to look at the moisture tracker, at least the dew points and the humidity indices. Now a couple weeks ago they were down there in those single digits and those teens. Now as we make our way already near the second week of February, they're pushing up in those dew points in those 50s and those 60s, while the humidity indices are in those 50s and those 40s, if not pushing up into those 70s in those lower elevations, as well as those colder temperatures. So we're on the lookout for some returning cloud cover, if not some foggy conditions. Still keeping our eye on the instability working in from the Gulf Coast region. You can feel those southerly winds today. That's where we're still pulling a lot of that moisture in. Now if you get a good look around the horizon, you still see some of that little bit of misty conditions. I don't know how to explain it. A little bit of that low fog, low clouds out there. You can still see that there's a lot of moisture going on, but the upper level pattern just too strong as it continues to pull it off towards the east. We're still keeping our eye on this high pressure somewhere around the Gulf Coast region while near this weekend, while the big game closes in. We're keeping our eye on this cutoff low. Now as this system starts to tilt, you can see the long wave trough, the cold front start to take a different angle. That's going to give us a better idea of how long it's going to stay cold. Right now it's pushing all the way out into Wednesday in those 50s, while those overnight temperatures will be down near those freezing levels. Take a good look at the water vapor imagery. This is one giant pocket of dry air making its way in on shore. And we sort of take a better look at it. It starts to look more like summer. So that transition season is definitely in a hurry to get here as we start to set up for it. Severe weather outlook is the West Coast. And take a good look off near the Ohio River Valley. That's where we had our eye on some of that snow cover, but it's starting to look like a little bit more of severe weather, more on the wet side. We take you down to the surface, still seeing a lot of those red flag alerts around the Panhandle, parts of Colorado and New Mexico. Here comes our storm setting up for the Ohio River Valley. And then off the west coast, more snow, still pushing in about 72 hours, if not pushing 96. We take you down to the Concho Valley because we just have our eye on that cloud cover. Now it's trying to set up for some overnight rain. It's really trying to push in those early morning hours. Then we see it push out underneath that West Texas sun. Tomorrow and into Friday, it's going to try to push us up into those 90s. Again, record-setting heat, but we have our eye on the cold plunge right behind it. So tonight, dropping all the way back down into those 60s. We'll see if we don't make our way down into those 50s or cooler than that. Then tomorrow, good run at those record temperatures for microchipping, but it's going to be a gorgeous day. If you have to call out of work, hey, go for it, because it's going to be a beautiful day. We make our way into that weekend as we push all the way up into those 90s, but here comes our cold plunges. This is going to drop us 30 degrees by Sunday, and then we push all the way down into those 40s, and we fight back and forth with those 50s, while those overnight lows go from those 60s all the way down near those freezing levels. Stay tuned. One more for the break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.